One of three things has to be true for this Michigan offense. One, Bryce Underwood. Let me back up. Because the offense is not free-flowing. The offense feels really basic, not very creative. I know there's Michigan's fans that are like, yo, we got to let Bryce Underwood cook more and let him throw more. I get that. I see that. One of three things has to be the case for Michigan. Bryce Underwood is not consistently executing progression passes in practice. As a result, his staff is nervous about putting those on his plate and nervous about the fact that he might either turn the ball over or take sacks, and you can't have that. And that's why the playbook has been very simple. The pass plays are simple. Anytime you're seeing, a half dozen to 10 rollouts a game and bootlegs, that should go ding, ding, ding in your mind of like, that's a coach trying to protect his young quarterback. The reason you roll your quarterback out is to split the field in half and have him only worry about one section of the field. That makes that Michigan offense very predictable. But one, it's Bryce Underwood not executing his progression passes in practice at a consistent clip. Two, Chip Lindsey is just a very conservative play caller. And I had him a year ago. I called the North Carolina game when he was with North Carolina and they had Omarion Hampton. Totally different vibe when you have an NFL first-round running back on your squad compared to when you have a true freshman quarterback. The mentality for an offensive play caller is completely different. But the second thing that could be happening is Chip Lindsey is just a very conservative or just not a creative play caller. That could be true. Or the third thing that could be true is Chip Lindsey and this Michigan staff, they don't trust their receivers outside to win one-on-one battles. And so it's nothing to do with Chip Lindsey as a play caller. It's nothing to do with Bryce Young and trying to protect him. It has everything to do with we don't feel super confident that our dudes can get open. And so we don't want to ask our true freshmen to have to fit it in to really tight windows. I don't know what it is so far this year. I think Bryce missed about a half dozen throws in that game. And I'm going to break down two right here that I'll show you guys. So I think there's validity to them being concerned about whether or not Bryce can handle that. I've been super impressed with Bryce in terms of, as a true freshman, to go in that environment. He's not getting rattled. He's level-headed. He is processing things for a true freshman at a really high level. But when you compare him to John Mateer, and if that's the level we're talking about, okay, Bryce Underwood, I think he missed about 6 reads in that game and 6 throws that, could have led to big plays for Michigan. So, yes, Bryce is really good. Yes, Bryce is the best true freshman quarterback I've seen since Caleb Williams, but he is still making mistakes, which is to be expected for a true freshman on the road. The second thing, Chip Lindsey's play calling. If I was facing Michigan, I would bring field backer pressure every other snap. Why? Because when you blitz, Michigan is rolling out and doing tons of bootlegs to the field, to the wide side of the field, for the exact reason that I just talked about. If you're blitzing a single backer dog, you can still have it be just a five-man pressure. It doesn't need to be anything super exotic. But when you blitz a backer off that edge, which Oklahoma did multiple times, that's an athletic defensive player right in the face of Bryce Underwood. And he's having to manage that. And oftentimes when he's faking the run the other way and his back's towards the defense, then he turns around and it's a backer like right up in his grill, it stops any momentum of those play calls getting started. And then the receivers, I know they got some talented dudes, but I think that's a justified, and I know that one throw that Bryce had, third quarter seam route down the middle of the number 1, that was a hell of a catch. But they haven't been aggressive with their play calling. They haven't really teed up one-on-one matchups from my perspective in the first 2 weeks. Where's that receiver room at? Where's that tight end room at? Obviously, they lost Loveland a year ago. But, and maybe it's just Oklahoma is legit. First play right here, though, that's a cause for concern. This right here is 1st and 10, second quarter. You're backed up. This is a young quarter. This is bad on Bryce Underwood. Again, I'm being critical. I've been super impressed with him as a true freshman quarterback, but when you're evaluating the quarterback play and Michigan fans are getting frustrated for why they're not throwing the ball more, this is why. You're backed up. This is Bryce Underwood pre-playing the play in his mind. He's not even going to read the defense. He's already decided in his mind where he's throwing this football, and he's throwing it right here to this the number 2 receiver on a vertical slot fade. He keeps his eyes down the middle of the field or down the left hash to prevent this safety right here from floating over this home run shot. He thinks he's got man coverage. He thinks he's got one-on-one matchup with this number 2 receiver on this safety, but instead it's not man coverage, which, side note, this is a broadcasting pet peeve of mine. When broadcasters say, oh, it's man-to-man coverage on the outside, so often when they say that, it is cover 3. Yes, it's like a one-on-one matchup on the outside, but there's a difference between man-to-man coverage and cover 3. This is what Bryce Underwood gets fooled at. He thinks it's man coverage, ends up being cover 3. Why does that matter? Because this corner right on the bottom of the screen, he's bailing away, meaning this vertical route by the number 2 receiver, that's dead. That's out. And instead, you have 2 wide open guys underneath. Again, you're backed up. It's 2nd and 10. Your mindset should be don't take sacks and get the easy completion. Those are 2 very easy completions to the outside receiver on YouTube right above the M right here, and then the tight end on a little out route. Instead, Bryce throws a go ball to this slot receiver, the number 2 receiver, who's hung up, a bailing corner. He's lucky that this was not picked. Very lucky this was not picked. But these are the types of things that if you're Chip Lindsey, Michigan's offensive coordinator, you're having to monitor, like, is my young quarterback processing things? Right here, he's not. Other plays, he is. But he's got about 5 or 6 of these in this game where it's take the easy completion and move on. I should have started with this play, but I wanted to get into it. Another play that is not on Bryce Underwood. This is more of the, hey, is Chip Lindsey just a conservative play caller? This right here is the first 3rd down in the game. First 3rd down in the game for Michigan. As a quarterback, you're game planning things all week for, like, hey, when we get in that scenario, let's dial up something that we love. Let's dial up something unique. Let's dial up our tight end on a linebacker matchup that we love. Let's dial up a choice route by a slot receiver and break across his face. All sorts of different creative things that you can do. But this right here is Michigan's first 3rd down play call. This is what you run in 2nd grade, trying to get the most athletic kid at recess the football. That is as easy as it gets to defend. There's nothing complex at all. It's a screen route to the top of your screen. No, it's not even that. It's double slants to the top, and then you're trying to block for your running back and, try to have him make a play there. That's the type of call you make on, like, 3rd and 10 when you have a young quarterback and you're, like, trying to not have him get in trouble. 3rd and 5, let your quarterback eat. Give him the keys to the car. When you have a young quarterback, you can go overkill with trying to protect him too much. If you go so conservative with your play calling, you prevent your quarterback from having answers. I did not like this play call. First 3rd down in the game, you allow Oklahoma to get momentum. This had no shot from the start. It's a good defensive call, but this is, you got the corner knifing in there. This is just, I don't know what they saw on tape, but that's not setting your quarterback up for success. So the first play, I got on Bryce Underwood. It's bad quarterback play. Second clip we saw there, I think that's poor on Chip Lindsey. To me, moving forward, we're going to find out in the rest of September which bucket is the problem at, or where is Michigan going to level up. Obviously, it's a tough environment to go on the road. Michigan's offense is way better than last year. Don't get me wrong. Michigan's going to be fine. But if they're going to contend for a championship, even with a true freshman behind center, their offense has to level up. It has to get out of this little box. It almost feels like they're in a phone booth offensively that they can't get out from underneath.